you sense your players anticipating getting the pads on and getting ready for that next step?
There's no doubt, man. They're like racehorses. That's just the next step in this thing, and they're ready.
Do you have a most anticipated matchup, whether it's in those backs-on-backers or O-line, D-line one-on-ones?
You know, I like Kenny G versus Payton Wilson in routes. You know, Kenny G has shown a really good aptitude from a route running standpoint out of the backfield. Payton Wilson in his second year is a guy that's working to be dominant in that area. It's just one of those matchups that has my attention.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to St. Vincent College. It is the day the pads go on here for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome to Training Camp Live, presented by FedEx. I'm Missi Matthews, alongside somebody you may recognize, Max Starks, ladies and gentlemen. If Mike Tomlin is pumped for today, Max is right behind him. You brought your A game.
I'm so excited for today. It's just a great day. No, let me quit playing. I need to take this out. No, this is the day we look for. This is the mile marker. This is the moment we could separate those pretenders and real contenders for a position on this team. They're not a team yet. They're a collection of souls hoping to become one, and today is that first day where they take the step to show that, hey, I'm here. I want to be counted. Think about the camp phenoms, the sleepers, and everybody else. Jaylen Warren made a name for himself on this very day, and I think I look at that. Joey Porter Jr. and George Pickens going at it this very day. Troy Fautano, the first time he got out there, going against Cam Hayward, made his name this very day. So this is a very big day for all of us here, and we get to be witness to the acclimation period is over. Now the pads are on. We're excited. I'm so jacked up right now. I know I don't have a face mask on, but I would put my face in the fan, but I'm old, so I can't do that. But it's a lot of fun today.
And you even taped your fingers up, so you are like extra
I'm ready. No jam fingers today, guys, behind the desk, I promise.
Take us inside. The players already went through their walkthrough. Fans are on campus. They know what this day means. What's it in the locker room as they're getting ready to take the field? Some of them might know what's happening. Some of the rookies, they might have no clue what's about to happen.
Well, I think the biggest thing is you eat a little bit lighter at lunchtime. And I walked around the lunch table. You definitely saw the single portion versus the normal double portion that you would normally get at lunch. A little extra pasta, a little less protein because you want to be able to use that energy appropriately. But guys are getting ready. There's a nervous silence that goes in the locker room right before the first padded practice because guys are now focusing a little bit more. Maybe a rookie is going on his iPad and trying to figure out, hey, what's this play? Okay, if he calls this, what do? I don't know. Some guys usually go in the gym and get a little extra pump because they want to show off the shoulders and the pads. But it's a very focalized type of experience. You go inside yourself because you know you're going to have to paint your heart a little bit dark today to get the job done and also to make a coach, look twice at you in a positive way.
I was going to say in terms of coaches, especially some of the position guys, are they talking their guys up, especially for the drills like backs on backers to get them ready so, hey, their guy wins some of those fights?
Oh, yeah. Now the coaches are going to say it right before the drill. They're going to get in their guys there like, we don't want to lose this. I don't want to get embarrassed. Don't you embarrass me. Eddie Faulkner's like, listen, I know you have your name, that you're representing and the Steelers, but blah, blah. No, you're representing me. You're the Fighting Faulkners right now. And the same thing with Pat Meyer with the offensive line going against these young defensive linemen. You're thinking of Y.A. Black, Derek Harmon, highly touted, looking to get lathered up, but Troy Fautano has a lot to show. Mason McCormick has a lot to show. Zach Frazier has a lot to show. Spencer Anderson in for Isaac Siamalu has a lot to show. And, of course, Broderick Jones. Everybody's going to be looking at him and how he makes that ascension to the left side. So a lot of eyes are going to be on these individual drills. I just hate that they're going to be concurrent and you're going to be just whipping your neck back and forth trying to figure out which drill I'm going to watch at what time. I call it the three-ring circus because you have backs on backers, wide receiver DB stalking drill, as well as O-line, D-line, one-on-one pass rush happening at the same time. So I'm going to be running back and forth. So glad I have the pads on just in case I get hit by accident.
We're actually going to make you take them off before you go down there just for your safety.
You sure? I mean, because I can wear. They feel very comfortable. It feels very familiar here with these on.
There you see Aaron Rodgers walking down the hill, Jalen Ramsey behind him, Ben Skoranek getting the crowd pumped. Not that they probably needed to tell the crowd to get pumped up, especially some of the youth football teams that, get a chance to be up close and personal with the players, but also excited to see those two guys. It feels officially official now. We've seen them in Steelers practice jerseys, but now the pads are under them.
Now the pads are on. Now ball feels a little more real. 7 shots is going to be a little more intense. the ornery factor is going to be raised up just a tick, and I'm sure the dinner option tonight for the winners will be just a little bit better than it was before. You know, I was talking about earlier, they had crab cakes and bone-in ribeyes. I think tonight you might see crab legs and filet. You know, it might up the ante on who wins 7 shots. Defense has taken 2 of the, two of the last 3 days, so offense is going to have something to say about it. I'm sure Aaron's going to have something to say about it. And now with it physical, now the O-line and D-line can affect that even more so than they did before. So it's going to be the temperature is going to rise very quickly after individual period, and then we progress through all of the team periods.
Now, we heard from Coach Tomlin at the top of the show. He's excited to see Kenny Gainwell against Payton Wilson. Normally, he doesn't give us that much information. We know he loves backs on backers in any variety that you serve it up to him. Who are you most looking forward to seeing today in pads?
All right, so I'll give you one per ring of the circus, right?
Love it, yes.
So backs on backers, Caleb Johnson, Patrick Queen.
Ooh.
That's going to be my little soup du jour of calamity that I want to see on that side. And then I'm looking at the stalk drill. I mean, everybody wants to see DK versus Jalen. I don't know how much we're getting, but I want to see what Roman Wilson does against, let's say, a Chuck Clark, a Darius Slay, or a Beanie Bishop. That's what I want to see, because Roman Wilson didn't do this drill a year ago, and he's the guy, all eyes are on him. He's the unproven guy. They're expected to come in and be that number 3 guy between him and Robert Woods. So I want to see what Roman Wilson has to bring to the table in that drill. And then, of course, the O-line and D-line, I want to see Derek Harmon or Y.A. Black versus Zach Frazier, and whoever's the leftover gets Mason McCormick. That's what I want to see, that scrum in the middle of big on big, nasty on nasty, extra effort on extra effort, in a one-on-one pass rush drill situation. So those are my guys that I'm going to be looking for specifically during those drills.
I feel like fans at home watching us and, fans here are probably salivating thinking about those options that you just laid out for us, and that's top 3. There's still many others as well, which I think, with the Caleb Johnson thing, I think everybody wants to see him in pads. You saw what he did in college when you watch his tape. We saw what he's able to do here during the acclimation period. I love, though, how he said that he did his homework before his pro day. When he talked to Coach Tomlin and said, you should draft me, you should see what I can do, he knew about backs on backers. He saw the clips of Jalen Warren, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, proving himself. So I think, pretty cool for a rookie to have a very good idea what he's walking into today. Not that Jalen Warren hasn't been this great resource for him, helping him get ready for a number of things, but pass protection, something he said he really, really wants to get better at here in Latrobe.
Well, and if you want to be a 3-down back, you have to be able to do that. That's one of the 3 cornerstones, right? You have to be able to run, catch, block. Those 3 things if you want to be a 3-down back. So this is the opportunity to prove that third element, the block element, on getting ready to play, getting ready to say, hey, you know what, Coach? I can go in. I could be a receiving option. Well, go show me you can block the blitz pickup, and then if the blitz doesn't come, you can leak out and give me a check down or a flare route on the side. But you've got to be able to block. If Patrick Queen, Payton Wilson, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, anybody comes free, I need you to stand in there and be a bollard buster, as our good friend Craig Wolfley would say, and what he affectionately nicknamed Jalen Warren, was you have to go show that out here. And Coach Tom is going to curate that list to make sure that he gets the different myriad of different options that can be deployed at him, and can he hold his own. It's not about winning everyone, but it's also about going and affecting it and impacting every play. That's what he wants to see in day one. Then we'll worry about how it looks on a consistency basis with cumulative days. But right now, I guarantee Mike Tomlin has a list of guys that he wants 20 to go against, and he's going to be checking that off very meticulously.
I think he's also light on his feet, to steal a Tomlinism from Coach Tomlin, but, there's sometimes he'll run it back. And I think those are some of the ones that are the best, because you don't necessarily anticipate them, but sometimes you got to run it back to see it again.
And then sometimes, now that he knows what you know, and you know what he knows, then it's just mano y mano, right? There's no surprises or anything. You're now going at it, and both of these guys, whoever lost that previous rep, is going to be very pissed off and more motivated the next rep to show you something. So it's going to be really fun to kind of watch that energy transpire. And we know that's the one that Mike Tomlin looks for in day one. Like, he is over there. He's not worried about what's going on in pass rush. He's not worrying about the stalk drill. I got film for that. But this one's the one where he's like, I'm going to watch every single rep.
Landon Roberts is not here this summer. Mark Robb is. He's another guy that he kind of would unleash on people. Without a Landon Roberts, who do you think that go-to guy will be potentially?
Well, I think we know that it's going to have to be like a Malik Harrison, like somebody like him. And I've watched him blitz the last couple of days. He comes in with tenacity. He doesn't necessarily have the lead in the pencil, so to speak, but he has the tenacity. So you wonder if he could come in and be a guy that kind of blows things up for them. Jack Sawyer, I'm going to be really interested to see how he does on his first edge assignment against tight ends and linebackers, because we also remember tight ends are involved in the backs on backers. So what does J.J. Galbraith have to offer? Jonnu Smith, yet they're not going to be asked to block as much, but you're going to still have to do it because we know what Darnell Washington. I mean, he is a very fast offensive lineman. So he doesn't have any issue in this drill. He's a guy that's going to slam somebody very quickly. But the rest of those guys, see how they work in these drills as well.
I love that Coach Tomlin said the big man game is played in pads. He was not quick to anoint anybody on the offensive line for what they were doing, if they were filling in. What do you make of what you've seen so far of the offensive line and defensive line as we head into this next phase?
Well, I think the biggest thing is seeing how a guy like Y.A. Black has kind of affected the interior game, as well as Derek Harmon. Like they can knife, get skinny, relatively speaking, for large human beings. They can get skinny in the hole, and they've caused some disruption for Aaron and for Mason Rudolph and for Will Howard, getting and affecting their passing lane, especially in 7 shots. They're able to get pressure, and I think, you're just like, well, now what does it look like with pads? Is that pressure real, or is it a faux pressure? So they're going to be looking for, okay, do they take the next leap? Like with pads, it looks the same as without pads, and what doesn't look the same? So it's about how you mature in this process. Because once again, we talk about milestones, and I don't like to use, I say mile markers, right? The journey all leads to September 7th at MetLife against the New York Jets. We're now at another mile marker where we've gone from acclimation and now we're into the padded phases. We came from OTAs leading into the start of training camp. This is another mile marker, and then we'll get one really quickly this Friday with Friday Night Lights. You'll get another mile marker as we progress that journey into the season, and also to building what is going to be the 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers.
I do want to give you some props, Max. It was actually 10 years ago, which makes me feel very old. Bob Labriola and I, on the first day of pads, decided to head to the locker room and get ourselves some pads to, take part in the festivities. And I was able to find the photo, first of all, which took me forever, to tweet it out. But I want to say that you brought your A game, and Labs even warned me. He said, hey, I don't want to say too much, but Max has a little bit of a surprise for you. I was not expecting what you brought, but there's me and Labs.
Oh, there we go.
Very long ago.
Look at Pop Warner Labs there.
Yeah. I mean, he played into it. He felt it, but you blew me away today with what you came with. You were well prepared. I didn't have to remind you about anything. I mean, this is A+ for you today.
No, I appreciate it. And, you've always taken care of me on the sidelines. You are our team mom and the broadcast team. But today, I knew what the assignment was, and I had my outfit laid out the night before, like the first day of school, so I couldn't wait to get the helmet on. I made sure they got the 7/8 on there just to make sure it was authentic. And then, of course, yes, I know I'm wearing Y.A. Black and also Garrett Williams, I think the rookie for the offensive line has it.
You're sharing.
I borrowed it right now because, listen, it was my number first. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I could wear it at least for a day,
right.
And, it's definitely bringing back memories. I mean, the mouthpiece now, this is new technology. We used to have that old school where you just dip it in, you have to boil it, wait 5 minutes, bite it. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, go for another 5 minutes. You're burning your gums in the process. Now it's just instant fit, has a little like breathe tube. So I can do this and still talk.
I can still understand you. Maybe the people at home can't, but
maybe they can't understand it as much. But and I didn't want to go with the face mask because I have to make sure you can hear me. So I'm wearing this it feels like not Marvin the Martian, but it feels like Magneto from the X-Men. I feel like I got Magneto's helmet. Like nobody can steal my thoughts right now.
You're a broadcast professional. That's what you are.
You know what? I'm all about character. I'm a method broadcaster. Is that something? Can we call it that?
I'm here for it.
There we go.
I love it. All right. I do want to have a chance to hear from Payton Wilson because, as we said, Coach Tomlin lined up him and Kenny Gainwell as one of the matchups he's going to be looking forward to today. And Payton Wilson had a chance to talk to the media prior to putting on the pads this afternoon. So let's take a listen.
Payton, Malik Harrison called you one of the best cover linebackers in the league the other day. He said you're going to skyrocket this season. Agree, disagree?
I mean, 100% agree with him. I mean, I mean, these guys that are in our room, we have so much talent in our room between me, PQ, Malik, Cole, Mark Robb, all those guys. I mean, it's just awesome to go out there with those guys every day. The whole room is going to have a heck of a year, and I'm just excited to get out there with each and every one of them.
What's the biggest difference for you personally in your game?
Just confidence. Just, being able to, give guys like Cam Hayward and TJ Watt a call without kind of hesitating, be like, oh, if I give them the wrong call, this and that, knowing the defense like the back of my hand, and, getting back to, just playing the game rather than thinking the whole time, worrying about making a mistake. Now it's just about making the plays and making the big plays rather than worried about being wrong.
Did you get there last year, or do you notice that this year?
Yeah, I mean, towards the end of the year when I started playing a lot towards the end of the year, those last few games, obviously I was rotating the whole year, but, the confidence just comes with reps. And then this year being beside PQ the whole time and just, learning from him, learning from those guys in there has really helped me a lot.
So can you guys both be on the field every down? Is that something I assume you strive to be every down back? He literally played every snap last season.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, that's my goal. I want to be out there with him every single snap. Last year, PQ played literally every snap, like you said. And, it was kind of cool to see after the games how dog tired he was and how much he put on the line for the team. I just want to be able to do the same thing. When I walk up that field, I want to be able to say that I gave it everything that I completely had. The coaches trusted me fully, and I played the whole game.
They've had a lot of DBs over this summer or this off season, but is that in other words, you can be a coverage guy rather than not your teammates, but
yeah.
you can handle those duties to be a dime kind of guy.
Yeah, there's no how do you say it? You don't have to really game plan to help people out anymore. We have guys who can put on an island at any position, whether that's linebacker, our nickel spot, our DB spot, safety spot. You can put them on an island and they're going to get the job done, and you can trust them that.
What's been different about Scott McCurley this year so far?
I mean, he's great. He's awesome. The energy that he brings, the detail that he brings each and every day. He's very critical, not in a bad way, but in a really good way. He wants us to, in a sense, be perfect, which is what you want from a coach. You don't want someone that's like, you did this, but that's okay, because we can do this. No, you want it exactly right. As a linebacker that's looking to be as good as I want to be, it's been really helpful.
Are there any other matchups you're excited for today?
All of them. I'm just ready to get out there and play some daggone ball. Hit Jalen Warren a little bit, get around there, fly around, hit some O-linemen a little bit. This is what you look forward to when you come up to the
Why
drill.
Jalen in particular?
Because he'll be out there first. He'll be out there first. He's a hard runner. KJ, KG, all those guys. They're all great running backs, and they all bring a little something different to the table. So it's just going to be great work all around.
Things got a little chippy out there on Sunday. The last thing without pads. Has there been any guidelines laid down? Hey guys, let's be intense, but not too intense.
Yeah, my favorite quote is, "We like toughness, but we're not orchestrating the MMA squad." That comes from coach. So I mean, it happens. You got a lot of alpha guys out here running around, hitting each other. It's going to happen, but at the end of the day, we know we're getting each other better for what's to come.
All right, we had the option to take the pads off, but here we are.
It's pads day.
Yeah.
It's pads day.
We're sticking through it.
Yeah, we're keeping the pads on, even though I probably wouldn't wear a polo underneath my pads in a normal situation. But, I mean, I feel good. I feel good here. This is comfortable because, when in doubt, you can always just do this, and everybody just kind of hangs out. I mean, that's what I used to do as a player, so when in doubt,
Do
when
it
I don't
here.
know what to do with my hands, just put them here.
And your mic's up here, so you're not messing with it. I do remember, speaking of a polo under a jersey, sometimes the defense, circa Will Gay, Troy Polamalu, they used to do the polos on Friday, the business days or work days, whatever they called it.
Yeah, work day, business day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They kinda
along with
rock
West
that.
Coast Fridays. So
Yes, there you
they would
go.
have that, and they would also do the spat where it looked like Chucks. So it's like an all black spat, and then they line it with the white and put it in because they were trying to mimic Chuck Taylor. So we had a lot of quirky rituals back when we played that I'm sure today's athlete would be like, what are these old guys doing, type of deal. We made our own fun, okay, kids? We made our own fun back in the day. We didn't have all these fancy fandangled things, hyperbaric chambers and everything else. We made our own fun. We just dunked our head under the cold tub. That was our sleep. That was our deprivation chamber.
Like you said, they don't even know how to boil water to form their mouthpiece.
No, they come preformed. Come on, that's
cheating.
not football.
Max, take me through what is one of your most vivid memories of the first day of pads as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers as a player, and then I'd also like one as a broadcaster that you had a chance to witness and say, haha, that wasn't me.
So the first one as a player, back in my day, God, I'm now in that
You can
category,
say that.
right?
It's okay.
So padded practices started right out the gates, and it was the first. I'll never forget. We were morning practice, had full pads on. We go through stretch. we go through warm-up, and then we go right into 9-on-7. Like, there's no, like, warming up, hey, we're going to go hit a dummy, and, oh, we'll get warmed up and acclimated, we'll do one-on-one pass rush. No. We're going full 11-on-11 to the ground, tackling. And I just remember getting up there. I was with the twos. I was running with the twos at that time. And I just remember we called a play to the right, and I had Brett Kiesel as a backup that I was going up against. And Diesel was, you know, he was all the shiftiness, and then Alonzo Jackson was on the outside. So we had a fan. So I hit Kiesel, he swats me, and goes on the inside to Jim Jones, who was my right guard at the time. And I go and I see Alonzo Jackson. Now, mind you, I played against Alonzo in college.
Okay.
He went to FSU. I went to Florida. A lot of heated rivalry games back then. And I was like, I'm just going to put my face straight through his chest. And I hit him, and I drove him, and I felt good about myself. We get back up. Next play, I'm like, all right, I got this. It was an inside move, and I had to get Hoke on a cross, Chris Hokey on a cross.
Ooh.
And Chris Hoke embarrassed me. I flew over the top, and I missed him, and he made the play in the backfield. And everybody was like, there's Hokey, bro. And you kind of knew what to expect with Chris Hoke from that point forward.
Absolutely.
But it was a lot of mixed bag, and then I got to my first play in one-on-one pass rush, and I went against Kimo von Oelhoffen. Kimo, grizzled veteran. He had this patented bull hump move. He was head up on me. I stoned him in the chest. I feel good. Next thing I know, I'm looking at the back kneecap of Chucky Jacoby, our center, because he took his big arm and just clubbed me to the inside, and I just went flying. So that was my first padded welcome to the NFL rookie type of moment. But then out here, like my first year when I came up and joined the broadcast team as a sideline reporter with you, I was on the field and I was just watching, and I'm just looking at the drills. I was just like, ooh, ooh. I watched Cam Hayward, put that long arm stab and just drive. I can't even remember who it was. He didn't make the team. But he drove the guy all the way back like 4 yards. I'm like, yeah, I don't miss that. I was like, my chest feels very good at this point in my life. I've kind of healed all the bruises around my sternum. But I just remember seeing that and like, yeah, this game has passed me by. Anytime I get a little inkling of, hey, maybe I could or I couldn't, just go stand on the field and watch the O-line and D-line like tussle about. And you're like, no, my ligaments are normal now. I don't want any more injured ligaments in my life, especially at this age.
Just wearing the getup, I feel like, is enough for you.
Oh, wearing this helmet, I forgot how much you sweat. And, like, the beads of sweat keep hitting your eye, and you're like, you're on camera. You're like, I can't blink. But it's, like, running right down the front of your eye. And so, yes, I don't miss putting this on. I do have fun with the finger tape, but that's a whole different story. I don't miss it in the least as far as playing, but I do miss that camaraderie you get, like the shared stories of being down here. Right now it's cloud covered. I was hoping for a really sunny, hot day, but wearing this equipment, I'm actually like the players right now. I'm thankful for a little bit of a cool breeze.
Yeah, and I think, too, Coach Tomlin, as he said, they went to the earlier practices last year, tried it. He said it wasn't hot enough. They moved it back to the 155, and he has gotten his wish from Mother Nature, unfortunately, other than, the few pop-up storms that have ruined things, and hopefully that's not the case here, because when I look out that way, it's sunny and beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful that way. Just don't look straight up. If you look straight up, you're gonna be disappointed.
But that's how it usually works here in Latrobe, so hopefully it passes and they're able to get everything they want to get done. I think just because of the hype of what this day brings and what it means to everybody, and a chance to, put yourself out there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a chance to make a real first impression. I mean, you get the first impressions during OTAs and the acclimation period, but this is the real first impression. This is where you separate the boys from the men, and you want to make sure you have as many man moments as possible out here, and it's apex predator on apex predator. If you get here, you already realize you're in a very select 1.5% of the human population, but you're trying to climb into that quarter and 10th percentile, and it starts today.
There, we're taking a live look at the defensive line.
I don't want to block that guy.
No.
And you see that? And then that other behemoth. I mean, it's the old bull and the young bull. I don't want to see either bulls. Like, you get the horns. I'm not trying to do that. I'm going to go high five them after the drill, regardless of what happens,
Yeah, like,
and
thank you.
I remember that. And I remember 97 as a young pup wanting to fight everybody, every drill. So now he only fights, like, half the people he wants to, because he's a mature adult now, and he's a father.
Yes, and he saves it for when you're going against a different team, not people you know lined up in black and gold that are also your teammates.
Yeah, Cordell Volson definitely doesn't want to see this just yet.
He's
still scared from the first time his rookie year. He's got PTSD.
In terms of today, there were some roster moves that were made by the Steelers, so we can take a look at those. And I think some of the names on here, disappointing because of some of the things they were able to do. But unfortunately, this is the point of the season where if you get hurt early and they need a body, it's really what it comes down to when you're going through such a grueling training camp that the Steelers run. That's what has to happen. And Cordero Patterson kind of broke his own news yesterday, unfortunately, that he was released by the Steelers. But I think some of the names, especially Jeremiah Moon, somebody who stuck around last year, and then when you look at Montana, those are guys that you were hoping would be able to continue to prove themselves.
Yeah, give them an opportunity to go out there and fight and show, hey, I deserve to be counted amongst the group. Jeremiah Moon was on this roster, played games for us. Now, in Lamonius Craig's situation, he's a rookie. He was trying to make a name for himself and get an opportunity to really prove himself because this is more of an open wide receiver room than in years past. So you could have made something about yourself, whether it was special teams or being just a dependable guy for Aaron Rodgers. That doesn't happen. We secure it with some different guys at a different position. Dominique Davis comes back, waived earlier for Chuck Clark, and now he's back in the mix at the D-tackle position. So, you know, hope springs eternal when you get another opportunity. You hate another man's misfortune is another man's fortune potentially. So you hate to see it, but this is the time of year where you need a high turnover at this point to make sure that you're always staying with a consistent 95.
Yeah, and it's part of the process. As we said, it's not great, but unfortunately that's how it works. And as you said, you could be somebody they need to call upon in a day or two, a week or two. You just never know how things are going to work. As we see TJ Watt down there, Nick Herbig, just exciting to see this part of the phase of training camp, and I think especially coming off a player's day off makes the most sense. But as you were alluding to earlier, then you start going through the week and getting to Friday Night Lights, which is also a big thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers when it comes to what they do in that stadium. It's not just taking the yellow school buses over. It's bringing some physicality and also putting on a good performance for that crowd as well.
And you also get your first look at team drives. That's always the big hallmark is we're actually going to play this as a game situation, and we're going to march up and down the field, or you get stopped and we got started over, do some special teams. So you get to get that kind of scripted type of managed game type situation for the squad.
All right. Well, unfortunately, Max, our wish did not come true that the beautiful sun that we can see over by the mountain didn't make it over here. So they're clearing the fields right now due to a pop-up storm in the area. Let's take a listen to Troy Fatanu, somebody who missed a majority of his rookie season last year, having a chance to prove he is that #1 pick that they took and what he can bring this year.
And being able to trust it every single day. Every rep that I take, obviously, it gets more comfortable and more comfortable. Obviously, there's a lot that I still need to get back into doing. But, yeah, I feel that's probably like the last checkpoint until we go out there and play for it. So.
Troy, the defense seems to be throwing a lot more alignments at you guys, especially early in camp. What has that challenge been like for you guys as a unit to understand, you know, when they're challenging this gap versus that gap and needing to communicate?
Yeah. So the big thing right now is that, like, obviously we're trying to prepare for a season, but we're playing the Steelers every single day. Like, we're playing against our defense, so we're making up rules that are just specific to camp. And obviously going into the season, it'll help us knowing that we've seen these fronts before. So when the bullets are flying, like, we'll be very prepared. So
going back to starting with, I mean, it's not like you guys are a small college line or anything, but you use the word undersized. You don't have the 6'8" skyscraper necessarily, or the 340-pound wide body. That's something you guys have talked about, that we're not the biggest group of guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can still show the toughness and physicality despite that.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we talk about every day. I joke around and say I'm like 6'5", and everyone always laughs at me, but I mean, at the end of the day,
put it on the roster and it won't change.
Yeah, that's what I tell them, just to look it up. But yeah, that's an inside joke we all talk about every single day, how short I am, or
you specifically?
Zach is.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Make fun of Zach a lot, but yeah, I mean, it's nothing we can do about that. So obviously we have to be able to.
All right, it's a hurry up and wait, Max. Unfortunately, as we are taking a live look at Chuck Noll Fields, the team has cleared. They are heading up to the locker room. Fans are being asked to take a safe spot here on campus as well. They're going to not be able to hopefully come out. Hopefully they will be able to come back out at 2:30, have that 30-minute window due to the lightning strikes in the area. We are going to find some safe cover as well, so we
Yes.
appreciate everybody joining us. Sorry we couldn't bring you more of the first padded practice, but make sure you stay plugged to Steelers.com and the Steelers official mobile app for all of the coverage of today's practice. We'll have everything for you there. Thank you, Max, again for bringing your A game. We really appreciate it.
Hey, listen, this is what I'm here for. I am here for all of the shenanigans and all of the excitement. Hopefully people got excited by this visual for that visual that's going to happen down there. I can't go down there with this outfit, especially not right now. I'm going to take my helmet off so I don't get struck by lightning. But this is a fun day. This is a great day for all of us to be able to see the next phase, the next step in this team and what they can do.
All right, well, that's safety first. Thanks again for joining us for Training Camp Live presented by FedEx. We'll see everybody tomorrow.